At this moment, Wanda is still telling Luffy's group about the battle between the two kings of the Mink tribe and Jack. The battle lasted continuously for 5 days. Nekomamushi fought fiercely against Jack. He realized that Jack was very strong, because he could continuously block Nekomamushi's attacks. He didn't even get hurt at all. At this moment, Nekomamushi was very angry, because Jack dared to underestimate him. But the sun had risen, so Nekomamushi had to immediately leave, to make way for Inuarashi, making Jack feel confused. Suddenly, Inuarashi appeared. He and his musketeer squad immediately attacked Jack, knocking him into a building, making Jack furious. So, he immediately counterattacked Inuarashi, knocking Inuarashi back as well. And they continued fighting with the pirates for 5 days and nights. Even though they defeated many of Jack's subordinates, they still couldn't defeat Jack. Wanda said that he is a very strong monster, surprising Chopper and Usopp, while Luffy realized that Inuarashi was also very strong. But he couldn't defeat Kaido's subordinates. However, Wanda said that Jack also couldn't win. So, he used a secret weapon. It was poison gas, surprising everyone. Chopper said that it was Caesar's poison gas, making Luffy furious. So, everyone was hit by the poison gas, causing them all to collapse. At this moment, Luffy's group felt very uncomfortable, because they felt that the Mink tribe had gone through terrible things. So, the pirates started massacring everyone, making Wanda feel very distressed, because she didn't want to remember the screams of everyone. Then, Jack captured Inuarashi and Nekomamushi. So, they were continuously tortured, to force them to reveal Raizo's location. But, they said that they didn't know who Raizo was, making Jack very angry. So, he tortured them very cruelly, because Jack couldn't extract any more information. So, he left some of his subordinates behind. At this moment, Inuarashi woke up. He said that he had read the newspaper about Jack's death, after he attacked the Admiral's ship to rescue Doflamingo. Inuarashi said that Luffy was his benefactor, because he had defeated Doflamingo, making Jack have to leave. Then, he continued to sleep, surprising Luffy. Chopper continued to explain that, after Jack left, their group arrived at this island. When they saw the giant elephant, they were shocked. Then, they forced Caesar to make a hot air balloon to fly them up. When they arrived, Sanji's group saw that the gate had been destroyed. So, they realized there had been a battle here. Sanji and Chopper decided to check it out first, while Nami's group stayed behind to wait. Suddenly, they saw a girl being chased by Jack's subordinates. So, they helped her. Brook immediately froze the ground, making them slip and fall. But, the girl was still scared. So, she ran away. Nami's group chased after her, while the two pirates were furious. At that moment, Chopper and Sanji saw many injured people there, surprising them. Suddenly, they saw someone who was still alive. He immediately begged Sanji's group to help him, because his two kings urgently needed treatment. But, Chopper saw that there was still too much poison gas. So, they temporarily left the city to find a solution, while Chopper still didn't know what the poison gas was. Caesar proudly said that the poison gas was called Koro, created by him, surprising Sanji and Chopper. So, they immediately attacked Caesar, because he had created this evil weapon. At that moment, he said the Mink tribe only had 48 hours left to live. So, they continued to hit him. Then, Sanji forced him to help them create an antidote, making Caesar annoyed. But, Sanji was holding his heart. So, he couldn't resist them. Suddenly, the island began to shake. It turned out that Zunisha was spraying water onto its back, causing Caesar and Chopper to be swept away by the water. Luckily, Sanji saved them in time. Suddenly, Sanji heard Nami's scream. So, he forced Caesar to deal with the poison gas before he returned. Then, Sanji rushed to Nami's location. He saw Brook was fighting. So, he immediately helped Brook, and Sanji kicked the pirate into the water, making the pirates frightened. So they immediately left. At that moment, Chopper told Caesar to handle the poison. So, he used his devil fruit power, and he neutralized all the poison gas here, helping everyone begin to wake up. Chopper realized that the poison gas had disappeared. So, he called Sanji's group to come over. When they saw the entire town destroyed, they were shocked, while Sanji was worried, because Caesar said that the mink tribe hated humans very much. Suddenly, Wanda attacked Nami, surprising them. Nami realized that Wanda was very weak. But she was still trying to attack Nami when she was about to use a bomb on Nami, because she didn't want anyone to harm her tribe anymore, making everyone worried for Nami. Luckily, Pedro stopped her. He said that Nami's group had helped them. At that moment, Chopper said he needed more equipment to make the antidote. So, he needed to go to the hospital, making Wanda cry, because they were helping her tribe. At that moment, Chopper needed more people to assist him. Wanda said that many villagers were taking refuge inside the forest. So, the nurse girl immediately ran to call more people over. Then, everyone started helping Chopper create the antidote. Others saw Nami's group treating the injured. So, they rushed to help Nami's group, while Chopper was still trying to make the antidote. Then, he injected the antidote into everyone, helping them recover, and they treated Inuarashi and Nekomamushi. By the afternoon, Sanji cooked for everyone, making them very happy. So, Wanda was very grateful to Nami's group, because they saved her tribe, making Frankie burst into tears, while Luffy was very angry with Jack and Kaido. But, Wanda felt that Jack was still alive. At that moment, Chopper needed to go treat Nekomamushi. So, Luffy decided he would also go see him. Then, Luffy's group went along with Wanda and Carrot. But, Luffy and Zoro were still wondering about Sanji. So, Brook continued to tell them. He said that Sanji might not come back to them anymore, shocking Luffy, because he didn't want Sanji to leave, while Zoro thought that it might be better without Sanji. But, Luffy disagreed. At that moment, Brook told Luffy that Big Mom's ship had chased them to Zou Island. It turned out that Zou Island was Peckham's homeland. When Peckham saw his kingdom destroyed, he was shocked. So, Peckhams immediately went to look for everyone. But, he couldn't find anyone, making Peckhams angry. He thought the Straw Hat Pirates were responsible for this, while Sanji was cooking food for everyone, making them very happy, because Sanji's food was delicious, while Chopper was treating everyone, helping them recover quickly. At that moment, Wanda exchanged outfits with Nami, because it was a custom that symbolized their friendliness, making Nami very pleased, because the outfit was very beautiful, while Sanji was greeting the Mink Tribe girls, making him very happy, because they were all very friendly. But, he wasn't interested in the men. Suddenly, Sanji saw Nami, surprising him, because Nami looked very beautiful. When he was about to hug Nami, Sanji was immediately sent flying into the sky. At that moment, Caesar was being forced to create medicine for everyone, making him frustrated, because he thought of himself as a genius. So, he didn't want to do this work. But outside, many dog minks were eager to gnaw on Brook's bones. At that moment, Peckhams found their base, making him worried. Peckhams still believed that the Straw Hat Pirates had destroyed the place, making him angry. So, he was determined not to forgive them. But, two guards said that it was the Straw Hat Pirates who had saved the Mink Tribe. Surprising Peckhams, everyone saw that Peckhams had returned, making them very happy. Suddenly, Nami saw Big Mom's crew arriving, making her worried. But, Wanda said that Peckhams was a member of their tribe, while Caesar was worried, because he feared being captured. Sanji didn't know what Caesar had done to Big Mom. It turned out that he had swindled research funds from Big Mom and then escaped. Luckily, he had Doflamingo's backing. At that moment, Sanji remembered that Luffy had once provoked Big Mom on Fishman Island, making her angry. While everyone didn't know what to do, Sanji decided to negotiate with them. At that moment, Sanji met privately with Peckhams and Beiji. He decided he would no longer run away. But, Peckhams immediately thanked Sanji, because he had saved the Mink Tribe. At that moment, Peckhams told Sanji about Big Mom's orders. Besides wanting to capture Caesar, Big Mom also wanted to destroy the Straw Hat Pirates. But, Peckhams said he only needed to hand over Caesar. Beiji then scolded Peckhams for letting his emotions interfere with the mission. But, Peckhams said he would take full responsibility, making Beiji angry. So, he immediately kept shooting at Peckhams, surprising Sanji, because he shot his own comrade. Brook saw someone inside his arm. It turned out that Beiji hated people who put emotions into their work. So, he considered Peckhams to be weak, and Beiji decided to take care of this matter. He called his subordinates out from inside his body, surprising Sanji and Brook, because his body contained so many people. Then, they surrounded Sanji and Brook. Sanji didn't know what Beiji's ability was. So, Beiji told them, he had eaten the castle fruit, allowing him to become a castle human. Sanji realized he was also one of the worst generation pirates like Luffy. When both of them were about to fight them, suddenly, Beiji captured Nami and Chopper, surprising Sanji and Brook. He even discovered Caesar hiding in the tree. So, Beiji also took control of Caesar. Then, he forced Sanji's group into the castle to talk. At that moment, Sanji was sitting at the negotiation table with Beiji, while the others were tied up. Suddenly, he offered Sanji a drink, making Sanji angry, because he didn't understand what Beiji wanted. Beiji said that Big Mom's orders had changed, and his mission was to give Sanji an invitation to Big Mom's tea party, making Sanji confused about why Big Mom invited him. It turned out that Big Mom was hosting a wedding, and the groom was none other than Sanji, surprising Sanji, and Sanji's bride was named Pudding, surprising Nami's group, while Sanji was in shock. At that moment, Sanji saw his name written on the invitation, as the third son of the Vinsmoke family, making him uncomfortable, because he didn't want to see that name, while Nami's group was unsure whether Sanji's marriage was real or not. Beiji also didn't expect Sanji to be from the Vinsmoke family. At that moment, Nami suddenly remembered, Sanji once said he was born in the North Blue. It turned out that the seas of the world had been divided into 4 parts by the Red Line. Those are the East Blue, West Blue, South Blue, and North Blue. And Luffy's group met Sanji in the East Blue. They realized that Sanji's journey to the East Blue was not simple. Caesar said that Sanji was about to marry Big Mom's daughter. He would be forced to become a member of the Yonko crew. But, Sanji didn't want to go to Big Mom's tea party. So, he returned the invitation to Beiji. Sanji declared that Luffy would become the Pirate King. Thus, he wouldn't work under anyone. Sanji decided to hand over Caesar to Beiji, so they could leave. But, Beiji said Sanji could not refuse the tea party, because they were being held inside his body, and he was taking them to meet Big Mom, making Nami's group worried. Beiji could even control everything inside the castle, and he had created many weapons aimed at Sanji. Suddenly, he used Nami to threaten Sanji, making him angry. Fortunately, he released Nami. They said that no one could refuse Big Mom. Suddenly, Vito whispered something in Sanji's ear, which shocked him. He didn't understand why they knew about that. Beiji said that the Yonko were the most powerful pirates in the world. So for Big Mom, nothing is impossible, and if she wants someone dead, that person will definitely die. So, Beiji advised Sanji not to refuse Big Mom, making Brook not understand what they had told Sanji. Suddenly, Sanji borrowed a piece of paper and a pen from Beiji. It turned out Sanji wanted to leave a message for Luffy. After that, he handed the paper to Nami, and he said he would handle this himself, surprising them all. Suddenly, Sanji hugged them, and then he threw them outside, making Beiji angry. His henchmen surrounded Sanji, but they were all defeated by him. After that, he immediately took back Caesar, and he used Caesar to force them to stop, because Sanji knew Caesar was very important to Big Mom. He also realized they couldn't kill him, because his bounty had "only alive" written on it. He warned them not to touch his crewmates. In exchange, he would go with them to resolve this issue. So, Beiji told his henchmen to stop, because he sensed a very strong presence outside. It turned out that Nekomamushi had come to rescue Nami's group. He saw Peckham's was injured. So, he interrogated Beiji, making him anxious. Beiji said it was the work of Jack's henchmen. So, Nami scolded him for lying, because he was the one who shot Peckham's. And they told Sanji to come outside. But, he said he needed to resolve this matter. Then, he would come back, surprising Nami's group. So, Beiji closed the door, and he ran away, making Nami worried. They didn't understand what Sanji was trying to do. When Wanda was about to chase after him, Brook stopped her, because they couldn't change Sanji's decision. At that moment, the Mink tribe had untied Nami's group. Nekomamushi was very grateful to them for saving his tribe. Suddenly, he spotted the catmint, which delighted him. At that moment, Luffy read Sanji's letter. He didn't know if Sanji really wanted to get married. But Nami said that Sanji had already made his decision, which made Luffy excited, because that meant they would gain a new member. But Brook said she was the daughter of a Yonko, which meant they would become Big Mom's subordinates. So Luffy disagreed. They realized that Sanji left to keep his teammates out of trouble. Luffy thought Sanji wanted to leave the crew. So he also disagreed, and they didn't understand why Sanji had gone to the East Blue. Robin felt that the Vinsmoke family seemed familiar, but she still couldn't remember. Nami felt guilty because she couldn't keep Sanji with them, while Zoro thought Sanji leaving was a good thing, because he didn't cause any trouble for them. Now that they had defeated Doflamingo, it made Kaido angry. So their next target was the Yonko Kaido. He realized that Kaido's subordinates would soon come looking for them, so they couldn't continue to cause trouble with Big Mom at this time, which made Nami angry, because Zoro was too insensitive. Suddenly, Luffy decided to go find Sanji to ask him. Surprising everyone, Usopp said that Luffy had once declared war on her, so it would be very dangerous for them to go there. Robin said that the power of the Yonko was on a different level, but Luffy was still determined to go. Chopper mentioned that there was someone who knew the way there, but they had to wait for him to wake up. It turned out that person was Peckham's, because Nami's group had saved the Mink tribe. He was very grateful to them, but he had been shot by Beiji, leaving Peckham seriously injured. Since he was a crew member of Big Mom's pirates, he could help them get there. Suddenly, a swarm of bees was rushing towards them, surprising everyone. Wanda said they were blood-sucking insects. So Luffy's group worked together to attack them. To drive them away, they kept attacking the bees, but there were too many of them. So Frankie used his laser beam to chase them away. Nami noticed that this move was effective. Suddenly, Luffy got stung by one of the bees. So he used Haki, making it impossible for the bee to pull its stinger out. Quickly, they defeated the swarm of bees together. Then they continued on their way to Nekomamushi's place. Finally, they arrived at their destination. Luffy was surprised, because there was a giant tree shaped like a whale. Everyone was happy to see Luffy's group arriving. At this moment, Pedro apologized to Luffy, because his subordinates had attacked Luffy in the forest. When he learned that Luffy wanted to meet Peckham's, he immediately offered to guide Luffy. Since Pedro also wanted to help Sanji, Chopper wanted to check on Nekomamushi's health first. So a person offered to help him, making Chopper blush with affection. They then arrived at Nekomamushi's place. Chopper saw that Nekomamushi was taking a bath, which made Chopper angry, because his wounds were not fully healed yet. When Nekomamushi saw Usopp and Robin, he immediately ran to hug them. He promised to repay the Straw Hat Pirates. Suddenly, Nekomamushi saw a ball, and started playing with it, making Chopper furious. Chopper then made him lie down on the bed, to give Nekomamushi his medicine. At that moment, Luffy's group reached Peckham's. Peckham's felt guilty, because he had let Beiji take Sanji away. Luffy didn't understand who was organizing Sanji's wedding. Peckham said it was Big Mom and Sanji's father, which surprised Nami. She didn't know what kind of person Sanji's father was. So Peckham's asked them, "Do you know about Germa 66? Nami immediately recognized that name as the Evil Army. Peckham's then told them that Sanji's father is the commander of the Germa 66 army, and the Vinsmoke family is a family of assassins. This revelation shocked everyone, but Luffy didn't care, because he only wanted Sanji to come back. If Sanji was going to get married, then the Big Mom pirates would have to become his subordinates. This statement shocked Peckham's, so he scolded Luffy, because Big Mom is one of the 4 emperors. While Luffy found Peckham's eyes amusing, making both Luffy and Carrot laugh. Peckham's explained that Sanji wouldn't be able to refuse the wedding, because anyone who dared to refuse Big Mom would receive a tragic gift in return, which would be the lives of the people that person cherished most. This revelation startled everyone. Peckham's guessed that they threatened Sanji using his loved ones and friends. And this wedding is actually a political marriage between the Vinsmoke family and the Charlotte family. Therefore, once the wedding starts, Sanji will no longer be a member of the Straw Hat Pirates. This made Luffy angry. He said that Sanji would definitely refuse the wedding. So Luffy immediately told Peckham's to take him to Big Mom, and he would destroy her wedding. This excited Carrot. So, Luffy quickly went to prepare, without waiting for Peckham's to agree. At that moment, Luffy realized that Zoro was also worried about Sanji. Suddenly, Chopper's group returned as well. The dog guards saw Brook, and they started biting him, making Brook feel helpless, because they thought Brook looked delicious. At that moment, Nekomamushi also came looking for Luffy, making Chopper angry, because he wasn't listening to the doctor's advice. Suddenly, Nekomamushi jumped forward to express his friendliness with Luffy, causing him to bleed again, which worried Chopper. Luffy found him very amusing, because he was a giant cat. At that moment, Law also arrived, and he had found his crewmates. Then, they informed Law that Sanji had gone to Big Mom's place. This surprised him. Thus, Luffy told Law to temporarily stop the fight with Kaido, so he could go and bring Sanji back first. But, Law said that Kaido had been searching for them, so they needed to leave quickly, to prevent Kaido from finding this place. This touched the Mink tribe deeply, because Law was being so kind. Suddenly, Nekomamushi woke up. He immediately told everyone to have a feast to celebrate. This delighted Luffy, so they all had a feast together, making everyone very happy. Suddenly, Luffy felt like he had forgotten something important, but he couldn't remember what it was. By the evening, they were all exhausted and fell asleep. At this point, Frankie, Robin, and Brook had gone outside the gate. It turned out they were waiting for Kinemon and Kanjuro. They knew that the Mink tribe hated samurai, and that their country had been attacked by Jack because of this. So, the three of them couldn't let the Mink tribe discover Kinemon. The next morning, Kinemon and Kanjuro climbed up to the place. But, Robin's group had fallen asleep. So, Kinemon didn't see them. At that moment, Kinemon asked the monkey for information about Raizo. This scared the monkey, causing it to run away. So, they chased after it. Baraite realized that they were samurai, and he immediately had to inform everyone. When Frankie woke up, he noticed that it was already morning. So, he quickly woke up Robin and Brook. Suddenly, they saw a drawing of a tiger on the ground. They realized that Kinemon and Kanjuro had already arrived. This made Frankie worried, because he couldn't let everyone know that Kinemon was a samurai. So, they quickly set out to find Kinemon. Meanwhile, Baraite had rung the alarm bell for everyone. This caused a lot of concern among the group. The guards got ready to fight. Inuarashi also quickly mobilized for battle. Unexpectedly, Nekomamushi woke up as well. He and his guards also prepared to fight. While Luffy's group was still sleeping soundly, Nami noticed the alarm going off. So, she quickly woke Luffy up. Meanwhile, Kinemon and Kanjuro thought that the bell was a signal to welcome guests. So, they believed they were about to be warmly received. Suddenly, Momo ran up to them. This made them very happy, because he was reunited with Kinemon and Kanjuro. Kinemon didn't understand why Momo wasn't with Luffy. Momo explained that he didn't feel comfortable in this place, so he had always stayed in his room. Meanwhile, Luffy was still very sleepy, but he was forced to go for a morning run. Nami realized that Kinemon and Kanjuro had arrived, so that's why the Mink tribe was in such an uproar. At that moment, everyone was still searching for the two samurai who had intruded. Nekomamushi and his guards had entered the town. Suddenly, Pedro saw that Inuarashi had also arrived. This worried him, because they couldn't let Inuarashi and Nekomamushi meet. But, the two of them actually met each other. Pedro felt that the situation was not good. So, they immediately tried to stop their two kings. Everyone thought the two would start fighting. Suddenly, Kinemon's group also arrived. They saw that someone was about to start a fight. Luckily, Luffy's group found them in time. So, they stopped Kinemon and Kanjuro from meeting the Mink tribe. At that moment, Inuarashi and Nekomamushi were arguing, which made everyone worried. It turned out that previously, Jack had forced them to reveal where Raizo was. But, Inuarashi refused to speak. So, Jack cut off one of his legs, while Nekomamushi had lost an arm to Jack's subordinates. At that moment, the two of them were preparing to fight, to see who was truly the king of this kingdom. Suddenly, Kinemon shouted for them to stop. So, everyone realized that he was a samurai, which made Usopp worry, because he was afraid that Kinemon would be killed. At that moment, Inuarashi and Nekomamushi were walking towards Momo. Suddenly, Kinemon introduced himself as a samurai of the Kazuki clan, and he announced that he was there to find Raizo. This frightened Usopp and Chopper. Luffy and the others realized the situation was dire. So, they prepared to step in to stop them. Usopp saw that the situation was very tense. Suddenly, Inuarashi and Nekomamushi started to cry, because they had been waiting for Kinemon's group to arrive, and they revealed that Raizo was safe. This surprised Luffy's group, because Raizo had actually been in the kingdom all along. They had even risked their lives to protect Raizo. It turned out that the Kazuki clan and the Mink tribe had been like family for a long time. So, they would never betray their friends. Meanwhile, Jack was still alive. Jack saw the news of his death in the newspaper, which made him furious. So, he ordered his subordinates to sail the ship faster. Meanwhile, the Mink tribe was very happy, because they were reunited with Kinemon's group. Kinemon showed them the Kazuki clan's tattoo on his back. Wanda noticed that the tattoo was similar to the ones on Inuarashi and Nekomamushi. While Usopp felt relieved, because the Mink tribe didn't attack Kinemon's group. Suddenly, Inuarashi and Nekomamushi started arguing again, leaving everyone feeling helpless. Momo saw them constantly arguing. So, he told them to stop, because they used to be good friends. If his father knew about this, he would be very sad. Suddenly, Inuarashi and Nekomamushi knelt down to apologize to Momo, surprising everyone, because their two kings were bowing to Momo. So, they realized who Momo truly was. While Luffy's group still didn't understand what was happening, because they had always thought that Momo's father was Kinemon. So, Kinemon told them the truth. It turned out that Momo was the heir to the Kazuki clan. And he was the son of Kazuki Oden, meaning he was the master of all of them, which shocked everyone. At that moment, Momo ran over to apologize to Luffy's group for lying to them, but Luffy didn't mind. Momo ordered Luffy to bow and pay respects to him. So, Luffy ended up fighting with Momo, which made Momo cry and run to hug Nami. Suddenly, Nami realized that Momo was the son of a lord. So, she was sure that he had a lot of treasures. Inuarashi and Nekomamushi saw how close they all were. Thus, they believed they would soon bring joy back to this place. At that moment, Inuarashi suggested that the two of them should stop arguing. Inuarashi and Nekomamushi made peace with each other, making all the citizens rejoice, because they had never seen their two kings like this before. So, they considered it a miracle. Suddenly, Zunisha splashed water onto its back, creating a beautiful rainbow, which delighted Luffy. Then, Nekomamushi led Luffy's group to find Raizo, making Luffy's group very excited, because they were about to meet a ninja. But, Momo felt scared, because the place was too high. After that, Nekomamushi opened a hidden door at the base of the whale tree, and he led them inside, which thrilled Luffy's group, because they were about to meet a ninja. Unexpectedly, they saw Raizo tied up. It turned out Raizo was angry, because he realized that this kingdom had been attacked. But, they always kept Raizo locked up, not letting him out, which shocked Luffy's group, because Raizo's ninja image was not what they expected. Even Zoro and Law were disappointed. At that moment, Raizo reunited with Kinemon and Momo, making him very happy. So, they helped to remove Raizo's chains. But, Raizo didn't know who Luffy's group was. While Robin and Nami saw that there was also a Kazuki family emblem here, and she discovered there was a red poneglyph here, which surprised Robin. Inuarashi knew that Robin came from Ohara, so she could read the writing on this poneglyph, which astonished Robin, because they also knew about Ohara. Robin recalled that she had secretly studied ancient characters before, but Ohara had been destroyed by the world government. At that moment, Robin asked why there was a red poneglyph here, because she had never seen a poneglyph like this before. Inuarashi explained that this poneglyph had a different meaning. So, Robin immediately ran to learn more about this poneglyph, while Luffy's group was still disappointed in Raizo, because he didn't resemble the ninja they had imagined. So, Luffy told him to show his ninjutsu to them. But, Raizo said that ninjas were not like they thought, because ninjas train very hard. Ninjutsu is not performed for entertainment, which disappointed Luffy's group. Raizo saw that everyone was disappointed in ninjas. So, he decided to show them some ninjutsu. Suddenly, Raizo disappeared, which surprised Luffy's group. Then, He used the clone technique, making Luffy's group excited. So, Luffy quickly grabbed Raizo. Unbeknownst to him, it was just a log. Then, Raizo continued to use shurikens, which amazed Luffy, and they realized that ninjas were really cool. At that moment, Luffy kept following Raizo, because he wanted to see more ninja techniques. Suddenly, Raizo, Kinemon, and Kanjuro saw that this kingdom had been heavily devastated, causing them to cry, because this place had once been a beautiful kingdom. But, now everything was destroyed, making them feel guilty. At that moment, Robin finished deciphering the characters on the poneglyph. Nami realized that this poneglyph only pointed to a certain location. Inuarashi explained that this stone is called a road poneglyph. Robin then realized that this poneglyph leads to the final island, Raftel, which surprised Luffy and everyone, because with it, he would become the Pirate King. But, Inuarashi said there are 4 red poneglyphs like this one. If they can find the other 3 red poneglyphs, they will find the location of the final island, making everyone excited, because this red poneglyph can help them find One Piece. While Robin was reminiscing, when she was in Ohara, she learned how to decipher poneglyphs. There are 2 types of poneglyphs. One type contains information about the Void Century, and it is called the Rio poneglyph. Roger was the one who successfully deciphered all poneglyphs. While Luffy was very excited, he wanted to immediately find the other 3 red poneglyphs. Suddenly, Nekomamushi told Luffy that the Yonko Big Mom and Kaido are holding 2 poneglyphs, which shocked them, while Luffy and Zoro were thrilled, because he would defeat them to claim the poneglyph, making Usopp and Chopper fearful. Nekomamushi said they don't need to take the poneglyphs, because they can create copies by printing them on paper, which excited Usopp, because this is a simple way to help Luffy become the Pirate King. But, Luffy didn't like this method. He is determined to defeat the Yonko to claim it. But, Nami doesn't know where the 4th poneglyph is. At this moment, Nekomamushi warns Robin, she is a target for all pirates in the world, because only she can read the poneglyphs. He is worried Robin will be kidnapped. But, Robin remembers when Luffy and the others rescued her. She says, "It's okay, because I have strong teammates beside me to protect me," which made them shy, because Robin praised them for being strong. Meanwhile, Jack is remembering the time he fought against the Marines to save Doflamingo. Sengoku and Fujitora saw the enemy approaching. Suddenly, Jack ordered to fire at the Marine ship. So, Fujitora used gravity to stop the bullets, while Doflamingo was very excited. At this moment, Jack's ship got closer to the Marine ship, and he confronted Sengoku and Fujitora, causing Jack to wake up. While Robin doesn't understand why Nekomamushi knows so much about poneglyphs, he tells them, Oden loved studying poneglyphs, and 800 years ago, the Kazuki clan created these poneglyphs, surprising everyone, because all poneglyphs in the world were created by the Kazuki clan. Luffy thought Momo created the poneglyph, but Momo said it was made by his ancestors. So, by their generation, they can no longer read the characters on the poneglyph, because before Oden could pass down the technique for creating poneglyphs to Momo, he died, causing Kinemon's group great sorrow. Because Wano has gone through terrible events, it turns out the one who executed Oden was Kaido and a shogun of Wano, shocking Luffy's group, because Kaido is occupying Wano, and Oden also went with Roger to Raftel. So, he knew all the secrets of the world, making Luffy's group shocked. Luffy asks Momo, "Was your father really a member of the Pirate King's crew?" Robin recalled that Rayleigh had also said he knew all the secrets of the world. And after the Void Century, the world government was established. They prohibit everyone from researching the Void Century. But, Ohara still studied the poneglyphs to uncover this secret. So, they were eliminated by the world. Usopp thinks Kinemon also knows the secret. But, he doesn't know anything at all, because Oden didn't want this secret to be a burden for them. And Oden only instructed them one thing, that is to open Wano. This surprised Luffy. It turns out that Wano has always been closed off from the outside world. So, no one can enter their kingdom. Kinemon's group always blames themselves, because Oden sacrificed himself to save them. They want to take revenge for Oden and reclaim Wano. Currently, Wano is ruled by Kaido and a shogun. So, Kinemon's group is still gathering their friends to fight against them. Nekomamushi and Inuarashi were also followers of Odin. So, the Mink tribe will fight alongside them. But, they were defeated by Jack, which made them feel disappointed. However, Inuarashi said they wouldn't lose next time, because the Mink tribe has a special power. Suddenly, Kinemon pleaded with Luffy, "Please help us defeat Kaido and the Wano shogun." This excited Usopp and everyone else. But, Luffy remained silent. Looking at Momo, he refused, shocking everyone. Usopp didn't understand why Luffy made that decision. Suddenly, Luffy scolded Momo, "Is all you do is cry? You're the leader here, right?" But, Nami immediately hit Luffy for bullying an 8-year-old kid. Suddenly, Momo stepped up to Luffy. He remembered his father's words, and he recalled the grudge against Kaido. So, Momo said to Luffy, "I want to defeat Kaido." And he wanted to become stronger to protect his subordinates. When Momo knelt down to plead with Luffy, Luffy immediately stopped Momo and said, "Let's form an alliance together." This made Momo very happy. Suddenly, Law scolded Luffy for not asking his opinion. Although he knew this was a good thing, Kinemon realized Luffy always viewed Momo as an adult. Thus, Luffy declared that the alliance of pirates, the Mink tribe, and the samurai had been established, while the Mink tribe was very happy, because their two kings had made peace with each other. Wanda realized that Luffy's group coming here had made things better, while Luffy was excited, because their alliance would together defeat Kaido. Luffy said that everyone didn't need to kneel and beg him anymore, because an alliance meant they had become friends. But, Luffy had one condition, that is, Sanji was in trouble, so, he wanted to go to Big Mom's territory to bring Sanji back. Everyone agreed with Luffy's decision, but, they were worried about the Yonko. Big Mom. Luffy said he would avoid provoking Big Mom, and he would go with Peckham's. Outside Zou Island, Jack's crew spotted Zunisha, which annoyed him, because he had to return to this place. So, he decided to kill the giant elephant, to completely destroy Zou Island. At this moment, Luffy realized that Nekomamushi and Inuarashi both knew Shanks, which made him excited. It turned out they had all been on Roger's ship. This surprised Luffy. They had even been on Whitebeard's ship. It turned out Inu and Neko were apprentices just like Shanks and Buggy. But, they had never been to Raftel. Inu and Neko recalled that time, which made them very happy. But, Kinemon's group did not go with Odin, because they had stayed in Wano. Suddenly, Nami asked Inu and Neko about the log pose. She wondered if it was a problem if they didn't continue to follow the log pose's directions, because they came to Zou Island just following the Vivre card's guidance. But, Inu told them to continue exploring, and they would be able to learn about the civilization that created the mysterious island Raftel. So, Nami realized what she needed to do, which made Luffy and everyone very proud of her, because she was their talented navigator. But, Nami immediately hit Luffy, because he hit her very hard. At this moment, Kinemon said he would call more samurai to join them, while Neko would look for the Whitebeard pirates' first captain, Marco, which surprised everyone. But, Luffy still couldn't remember who Marco was. Usopp said that Luffy had met him at Marineford. Suddenly, Robin mentioned the pineapple fruit. So, Luffy remembered him. Luffy realized Marco was very strong. But, Neko said that after the battle at Marineford, Marco led Whitebeard's commanders against Blackbeard. Until now, they still hadn't had any news about him. This surprised Luffy. Robin said that it was a big battle. But, Marco had lost. After that, Blackbeard became the new Yonko. This made Luffy angry at Blackbeard, because Marco had once protected Luffy at Marineford. At this moment, they decided to split up to prepare. Kinemon's group would return to Wano. Suddenly, all the people of the Mink tribe came to meet Luffy's group, because they wanted to throw a celebration party, to celebrate Raizo's safety, and that their two kings had reconciled. This moved Raizo. So, he used a water heart technique, which excited everyone. At this moment, Luffy was very happy, because he was about to have a feast. But, Nami immediately stopped Luffy, because they needed to quickly go save Sanji. And Nami would go with him. Chopper and Brook said they would also go, while the others would go with Kinemon. Suddenly, Robin reminded Luffy to remember the poneglyph copy for her, and she would also study Kaido's poneglyph in Wano. After they finished dividing into groups and preparing to celebrate, suddenly, everyone felt danger, causing the entire island to tremble. They heard Zunisha's cries, so they realized Zunisha was being attacked. Suddenly, Luffy heard someone's voice. At this moment, the mink tribe was very panicked, because the whole island was shaking continuously. Luffy and Momo heard someone talking to them, which gave them both headaches. But the others didn't hear anything, while Jack was ordering his subordinates to fire cannons at Zunisha's legs. Jack looked down on Zunisha as just an old, weak animal. It turned out he wanted Zunisha to fall so he could kill him. While Zunisha was telling Luffy and Momo, "If you are there, give me an order." But Luffy asked, "Who are you?" Which made everyone not understand who Luffy was talking to. Suddenly, Pedro told them that Roger and Odin had also heard this voice. This surprised everyone. At this moment, the entire kingdom was shaking, causing the people to be afraid. So, Zoro and Raizo tried to protect everyone. Suddenly, Momo saw something, and he saw Jack, which surprised everyone, because Jack had returned. He was still continuously firing at Zunisha's legs. Luffy didn't understand why Momo could see that. Inu and Neko ordered everyone to fight back against Jack. But the island was still shaking, preventing them from moving. Zunisha warned that if he fell, they would be in danger. Momo realized this voice was from the giant elephant, which surprised everyone. He told Momo that, long ago, he had committed some crime. So, someone had ordered him to keep walking continuously. Zunisha told Momo to give him an order, while Jack was continuously firing at Zunisha's legs, causing him great pain. The pirates saw the giant elephant about to fall, which pleased them. Zunisha said, "Please allow me to fight back." This left Momo unsure of what to do. Luffy then told Momo to give Zunisha an order. Otherwise, everyone and the elephant would die. At this moment, Zunisha was about to give in. Momo saw that everyone was in danger. So, he shouted and told Zunisha to defeat Jack. Unexpectedly, Zunisha actually listened to Momo's command, and he aimed for Jack, which frightened the pirates. Zunisha used his giant trunk to destroy all their ships, and Jack was knocked into the sea. At this moment, everyone felt that everything had returned to peace. Baraite announced to everyone that Zunisha had defeated Jack with just one blow. So, everyone thought Jack was dead. After that, Luffy told everyone to prepare food for him, because he needed to go find Sanji. Suddenly, they received news that Zunisha's front leg was severely injured. Unexpectedly, the island continued to tremble. Fortunately, Zunisha was still able to stand. Everyone realized they needed to immediately treat Zunisha. So, Chopper wanted Luffy to stay a little longer, because he needed to heal Zunisha's wounds. Luffy agreed. So, they began working together, while Chopper looked for herbs to stop the bleeding. Robin helped everyone sew pieces of cloth to make bandages. Brook and Zoro helped everyone chop down trees. But Zoro got lost. So, Law doubted Zoro's sense of direction. Suddenly, Nami sensed something approaching. At this moment, everyone was ready. So, they started going down to treat Zunisha, while Nami told Luffy that a storm was coming. So, she asked Luffy to inform everyone. Over with Chopper, he was applying medicine and bandaging Zunisha. Suddenly, a strong wind blew in, causing their boats to be blown away. Even the ropes securing their ships snapped, causing them to fall into the sea. Fortunately, Luffy arrived just in time to help them. Robin used her devil fruit powers, and she created a giant net to help everyone climb back up. Finally, everyone was safe. At this moment, Luffy saw that there was a lot of food in the storage room. This delighted him, so he gathered everything into his backpack. At this moment, Carrot felt that Luffy's group was amazing. So, Carrot also wanted to go with Luffy. Suddenly, Luffy forgot about Peckham's. Luffy asked Carrot to bring the food onto the ship for him, so he could go find Peckham's. At this moment, everyone was very grateful to Luffy's group, because they had helped treat Zunisha's wounds, while Chopper finished bandaging Zunisha's trunk, which made everyone very happy. Miyagi said that Zunisha was their ancestral land, and they were living on the back of this magnificent creature. So, he really wanted to ask Zunisha, "You have been walking for 1,000 years. Where do you want to go?" While Momo wanted to talk to Zunisha one more time. He didn't understand why Zunisha could hear him. So, He thought this might be related to the Kazuki clan. At this moment, Kinemon said that their group would be divided into 4. Group 1 was Neko, who would go find Marco. Group 2 was Momo and Inu. Group 3 was Luffy's group, who would go rescue Sanji. And Group 4 would go to Wano. While Luffy saw that Pekam's house had collapsed, which shocked him. Fortunately, he was still safe. Luffy saw Pekam's turtle shell, which surprised him. It turned out he had eaten the kami fruit, allowing him to become a turtle. Suddenly, Luffy tied Pekam's up, and he carried Pekam's away, which made him helpless, because Luffy forgot that he was injured. At this moment, Pedro told Neko that he wanted to go with Luffy's group. But Shishilian immediately ran over, because he also wanted to go with Luffy's group. Wanda also wanted to join them. Pedro saw that everyone wanted to go with Luffy, which surprised him. But Neko told them to leave this to Pedro, because only Pedro could help Pekam's calm down. Meanwhile, Usopp had upgraded Klima Tact for Nami, which made her curious. So, she tried to use it. Unexpectedly, Nami's Klima Tact extended very long, which delighted her. Rizzo thought Nami was using magic. But when Usopp quoted a price for Nami, Nami suddenly disappeared. At this moment, Luffy's group was ready to go to Zou. So, everyone gathered to say goodbye to them. When Kanjuro was about to draw something to help them down, Luffy hugged his group, which surprised everyone, and he jumped down below, which scared them, making everyone shocked, and they agreed to meet again in Wano. That's it for today's video. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to support Oni-chan in the next videos. Thank you for watching. Love you all.